Hello and welcome back to Time with Tim. This week we're talking about values for leaders. And today I'm just going to be sharing a brief personal insight about values and leadership. So here it is. There's an old adage that people don't leave businesses, they leave managers, or you don't leave a company, you leave a leader. And I think that's true. But what I've been reflecting on is why we leave leaders is primarily because we don't feel that they share our values. And in particular, even when they say that these are my values and that list matches my list, we don't feel them living those values. So if I reflect on, two particular instances where I left a really good company, one in particular, arguably a great organization, because of the leader that I was working for. And yes, there were particular behaviors and there were particular, events and, things which were the catalyst for me to get to a point where I'm like, I'm out. But the more I think about the why and the what it was, it comes down to a misalignment of value system. And essentially, if I'd been more aware of this then, one of these I'm going back 12 years, but if I had been more conscious of my values then and my values as a leader then, even though I was subordinate, even though I was looking up to this person and saying, well, how, I want to be where that person is, how do I get there? I think if I'd been more conscious of what my values are, I think I would have been able to navigate those interactions more efficiently. And I would actually have been able to recognize in myself, well, I don't want to do what that person's doing. I might want to get where they are, but I'm not going to do it that way. And I'm not going to be who they are. I'm going to be me. And this is why. It's because these are my values and they have those values. Or we apparently have similar values, but I don't feel like they're living them. And I feel like I can, or I should, or I will, or I am. And one of those separations was very stressful. It was quite emotional. And again, really, it was because that leader wasn't living their values. In the instance when I left, their behavior at that time was so different to the majority of their behavior the time that we were together. And that very short interval when their behavior was essentially a complete justification of why I left, that was the best example of them not living their values. Or perhaps it was the best example of them living their values that were so totally different to mine that as I look back, it was 100% the right decision to leave. Now, that all sounds quite negative. Two examples of somebody leaving a company, me leaving a company. But this happens a lot. People move jobs all the time, and then you sit down and you talk to them and say, why did you? That was a good company. You had a good job. You were happy most of the time. You were earning good money. It was convenient. Whatever the reason, why'd you leave? I wonder how many people, and this is my question for you today, how many times have you considered leaving a job because your values didn't align with the leader? How many times have you left a great company and a great role within that great company because your values didn't align, or you didn't feel like the leader was living their values in a way that you agreed with? And then the next question is, what are you going to do about that? And if you're not happy in your role at the moment, can you be more progressive with your values and see if that changes the dynamic? Or if you have left a business, or you're thinking of leaving and you're looking for a new role, put values first when you're inquiring about a new organization. And when you're sitting in front of an interviewer, and especially if that interviewer is the person that you're going to be working most proximately with as a leader, ask them, what are your values? And give me an example of how you're living them in this organizational context, because that's really important to me. See what they say. Okay, tomorrow we're going to be talking about how you can use values to ensure that you are being well in order to leave well. I'll see you then.